One thing that I think is worth pointing out, we were talking about being here until this weekend. It's 1:50 in the morning. We called it at 1:25 in the morning. My over-under, I think, was 2:30 a.m.
Yeah. And actually, we're very, very close to being right.
But the idea that it was this early means that it's decisive. Now, is it Barack Obama, 10 million votes decisive? No. But it is beyond any reproach, beyond questioning. I don't think you're hearing from Democrats, oh, my God, there were stolen votes in Georgia, or there was mistabulation.
Right. Let's get context on how certain we are with it with the man who runs DDHQ, Scott Tranter. Scott, thank you very much.
Congratulations, by the way.
The team congratulates you and all of the team at DDHQ in giving us early and accurate assessments all night long. No one has been close to NewsNation because of DDHQ in this race tonight, and nobody has pushed back on any of the findings. Tell us what led you to make the call on Pennsylvania and therefore on the election itself.
Yeah, so look, VP Harris was getting Joe Biden margins across all of Pennsylvania, but what Donald Trump was able to do was he was outpacing his margins from 2020 by anywhere from 4 to 6%, especially in key counties like Bucks. So in other words, VP Harris did what she needed to do, but Donald Trump just got a few more votes where he needed to, and that made the call basically pretty clear right around 1 a.m. this morning.
What do you attribute the difference in the margins to? Is there anything you see in the demographics, the numbers within the numbers?
And the second time around, he now has a
So that's a great question, Chris. I'm going to be honest. All I've been looking at is the totals. I got to really go look at some of those margins in Bucks and all that. If I had to guess, especially since what little data we had in the absentee balloting, it looks like Donald Trump potentially got some new voters out who don't normally vote in these elections, and that attributed to his margins. And those new voters, men, women, young, old, just people who don't necessarily turn out in these types of elections. And we saw that in the polling. In the polling, we've seen that Donald Trump has been leading among registered voters, not necessarily likely voters, which has been a switch in polling this year. But by and large, I think Donald Trump was able to get some new people into his coalition.
So you think about this just in terms of not necessarily a mandate, but that the country sort of moves on and does not have the types of legal challenges. We heard that everybody's got lawyers and both sides were ready to fight it out in every single state. We just go through the margins right now. If these hold 150,000 votes in Georgia, more than 200,000 votes, or about 200,000 votes in North Carolina. Pennsylvania, you're talking about a 200,000 vote margin. Are these outside, Scott, of the ability to even challenge, to go through some kind of process?
Yeah, in all the 7 battleground states we're watching, and we still got to get more out of Nevada and Arizona. But in the states that Donald Trump needs to win, we are well outside any sort of automatic or requested recount range. You know, those margins you're mentioning, look, recounts, for them to be really contested, we need to see 3-digit margins, not 5 and 6-digit margins like you're mentioning.
Yeah, 3 digits was Florida and the hanging judge. Scott, you and I talked, going back to the primaries, that we could be here until Sunday, and we discussed whether or not we'd have cots laid out for catnaps and shifts as the vote kept coming in, whether you're going to spend Thanksgiving in Harrisburg or out in Maricopa County in Arizona. And instead, it's over. This is one of the earlier nights. This is earlier than 2016. How do we explain that?
Or said, let there be a primary.
DDHQ, baby. That's
question.
how you explain it. DDHQ. Come on, Tranter. This is your chance.
Hey, he's got the shirt on.
This is your chance, man. Now is not the time to be humble.
Look, all we do is count the vote. You know, it's the voters who give us a decisive victory. It's not us. All we do is count the votes, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's you know, look, Donald Trump is going to outperform a lot of his 2020 margins, and that's going to be the historic moment here. Look at that popular vote. It looks like Donald Trump's going to get the popular vote, which is going to have some down ballot impacts in the House.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen, and don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.